All right, so we are starting from where we ended in my previous video, and we explained we started by explaining the properties defining the variable, and I think we explained the first property, that's name. And we said the variable names cannot contain space or any special character. But I have to say this: when you change the variable name, it does not change the data or affect any other property defining the variable. So I think we are set with the variable names. The next property is type. So in order for your data analysis to be accurate, it has to be set to the right variable type. And doing so, we have different types, and when you click here, the pop-up option will come out for you, and the default is numeric. Numeric variable have values that are numbered. It's basically about variables that can assume numerical value. So any variable that involves number will fall under this. For example, when you are dealing with continuous variable like height or weight, it will fall under numeric. When you're also dealing with count variable like number of goals scored in a match, it also fall under numeric. Anything about number, even when you are dealing with nominal categorical variables that have been coded numerically. For example, you are dealing with gender, and you've assigned numerical value or codes to gender, maybe 1 to male, 2 to female, to fall under numeric. And also, when you are dealing with ordinal categorical variable that have been coded numerically, like you are dealing with classes after graduation, you have first class, second class, and you assign numerical values to them, you fall under numeric. So basically, it's always the default is numeric, and most of our variables will be numeric, unless you are dealing with date and you have to choose date here, which allow you to enter dates in your data view. And when you are dealing with dollar sign, you choose dollar sign here, you choose dollar. And one important type of variable is string. And string is also known as alphanumeric variable. It's basically about text and words, where write numerical or values or maybe numbers, but rather words or letters. So with the string variable type, you know, it can include numbers, letters, and symbols. So it's basically about words. When your data, or you want to keep your data in words or letters, then you have to choose string as in the type of variable. So we leave it to the default because we are dealing with numeric variable, and we press OK. Alright, so the next property is width. And width is basically the number of digits allowed for you to enter your values, or the length of your string variable. So when you are dealing with numeric type of variable, then it's the number of digits your numerical values can be. So for example, you are dealing with hundreds, it's 3 digits, so it actually falls within 8. However, if you are dealing with values more than 8 digits, then you have to increase here to the number of digits your values are. So for now, we leave it 8, because we are going to deal with number values which are less than 8. So the next property is decimal. And so with the decimal is the number of digits to display after a decimal point. So when your data um, involves decimal numbers, then you can tell SPSS. SPSS gives you the opportunity to tell it, I'm actually going to deal with this number of decimal places. But when your data does not have or include any decimal numbers, or you did want to keep your output clean, you can just reduce this to 0 where you wouldn't have any decimal place. So that is okay. So the next property is label. All right, so with the label, is a brief but descriptive definition for your variable or for the variable. So it's like you want to write something that will define your variable more. So you can write that here. So it's literally anything you want, but you have to keep it in mind that um you are dealing with a variable and then there's a variable name to it. So something that will define the variable name detail, but it should be brief. You can just anything you want. So we move to the next property and then is values. So the values, will explain it into details when we start the data entry, but for now let's just say something small about it. Yeah, this useful for coded categorical variables. It allows you to define your code with each category. So with the gender, we assigned 1 to male and then 1 as in a code to male and then 2 to female. So you can actually define that here. With the value, you want to assign 1 to male, so and that value it to be 1 and then the label will be male, and then you add it to here. You see that you can see your added value, you can see your added label here in this box. Then the second one is you assign 2 to female, so the value will be 2 and then the label will be female, and then you add that to when you press OK. We'll talk about this more when we are doing the data entry. So you press OK and then we move to the next property, which is missing. Now with the missing, it allows you to indicate any missing data for that particular variable. You can indicate up to 3 unique missing value codes or give a range. So let's say with the variable you are dealing with, the 10th, the 20th, and the 90th case or respondent actually miss this entry. So what you have to do is when you click here, there will be a pop-up and then the default is no missing value. So if you are having any missing values, you come to discrete here and then it will allow you to pop up a number or the numbers of the number of cases which were missing. So here you want 10 and then let's say 20 and then 90. Then you press OK and then you are set to go. Now alright, so the next property is columns, and column is how wide your columns will be in the data view. It's not really important because you can modify that in the data view by just putting your cursor in between this and dragging it right and left. So that's about column. And the next property is align. It's basically like a spreadsheet where you can right, left or center align it. So there's left justified, right justified, and then center justified. So it's the default is right and we leave it like that. So the next one is measure, and it's a very important property of the variable. And then statistics, we have for scale of measurement. We have interval, ratio, ordinal, and then nominal. So in SPSS, nominal means nominal. It is categorical, but there is no rank between the categories. And then ordinal means it is categorical, but there is rank between the categories. And then in SPSS, both interval and then ratio will be under scale. So we are dealing with gender. Gender should be nominal. So we click nominal and we are set to go. And alright, so the last property is row. The SPSS allows you to define the role your variable will play in the analysis. So it's whether it will be independent, dependent, or both, none. So you just tell SPSS the role your variable will play in the analysis. So when you are done, I think that's we've explained all the properties defining the variable. So now thank you for watching. In my next video we are going to start some data entry and then hopefully start some basic analysis. I hope you enjoyed this video.